In a Game Informer interview back in 2017, Masuda, one of the lead directors of Pokemon, shared his thoughts on the potential of a Breath of the Wild type spin for a Pokemon game. Here is what he had to say.
I'm curious, since you mentioned Breath of the Wild earlier today, what do you think about that insane level of player freedom and expression that game offers? Do you think a Pokemon game could ever offer that level of player expression?
まあでも何でもありだと思うんだけどねただまあそれが自分が冒険して非常に楽しくてポケモンを集めてっていうことが、まあ、あの空間で行われるのがいいのか、まあ、ポケモン GO みたいにリアル空間で行われるのがいいのかとか、なんだろう、ああいうゼルダみたいな世界観っていうの、まあ自分も好きですし、どういうところにポケモンがいても面白いなとは思うんで、なんかそういうゲーム性と世界観となんか一致してることの面白さ、捕まえて楽しいって思えるものであれば、いろんな可能性はあるんじゃないかなと思いますけど。
Turns out that they have managed to find a way, seeing as how Legends Arceus is very clearly inspired by Breath of the Wild. They even went so far as to use identical over-the-shoulder shots to explicitly convey that, yes, Legends Arceus is indeed the Pokemon equivalent of Zelda's Breath of the Wild. The inspirations don't end there. In the most recent trailer, the sheikah slate was finally unveiled, referred to as the Arc Phone in Legends. Amogus. The Arc Phone seems like an odd choice, however, given the context surrounding the game. It's during the same period where Pokeballs are made of wood and look like this. Legends is far into the past, so why is there a smartphone device just casually laying around? That would be like having platoons back in World War I communicating in a Discord chat on their iPhones. The Arc Phone sticks out like a sore thumb and feels disconnected from everything else around it. Breath of the Wild, by comparison, takes place farther into the future, in a world where technologically impressive machines called Guardians and Divine Beasts exist, alongside the Sheikah tribe, who are described as an advanced civilization. Taking all this into account, the Sheikah slate fits right in. Maybe the Arc Phone was developed by some kind of advanced, ancient civilization that worshipped Arceus, until one day, Arceus was compelled to steal one of these smartphones crafted in his image, for reasons unknown, as he plunged them deep into the ocean, or something along those lines. And then Arceus unknowingly drops his phone on the ground on his way back to the Hall of Origin, until it eventually ends up in the player's hands. The actual lore of the Arc Phone should be interesting either way, assuming any such lore is provided in the game at all, of course. Legends also adopted the slow motion aim seen in Breath of the Wild to assist in catching Pokemon even while airborne riding atop another Pokemon, which is kind of epic. The trailer confirms that riding Pokemon work in a similar manner to Sun and Moon, via summoning, but instead of the ride pager, the monsters are summoned via the Celestica flute. This flute plays a similar sound effect as heard in Diamond and Pearl after the player presses start. A nostalgic and comforting tone. Such a nice touch. At least this time around you're able to ride all new Pokemon as opposed to only one new Pokemon. Wardens are introduced, which appear to be the gym leader equivalent for the Legends universe. This also confirmed that there will, in fact, be traditional Pokemon battles in the game. How prevalent this will be remains to be seen, but from the looks of it, there will only be a handful of these trainer battles, as not even every Warden is capable of participating. A lot of these Wardens are ancestors of characters seen in past titles, a charming trend that I honestly really enjoy. It reminds me of the ending of a certain manga series that I also really enjoyed. Mai is one of my favorites, as she can be seen mocking the player's silly little balls while flexing on you with her free, ballless Munchlax. Player customization was shown to return with the Hisuian Growlithe pre-order bonus from a few weeks ago, but this trailer went more in depth with what is possible. Seems this time around the customization is more varied and extensive than it's ever been before. Pokemon are no longer stored in a PC, but instead left to graze in the pastures, which seems to operate similarly to what Professor Oak did for Ash in the anime. Within this reveal, we got a really solid look at the metadata for the Pokemon, uncovering a whole bunch of details. Some good, others very concerning. First off, it seems that abilities, held items, and natures all got removed, which is an even more radical shift than what was seen in Let's Go, since that game still, at least, had natures. This can have very negative repercussions so severe that it warrants its own video, that we can explore in greater depth later on, but it's not great to say the least. Game Freak seems to be compensating for this by having Pokemon with substantially different stats than what we've seen in any past title. Take Drifblim for instance. The stats of a level 32 Drifblim seen in past titles are all much lower than a level 32 Drifblim seen in Legends. There There are numbers next to the stats which seems to suggest that the player can boost a specific stat even further in a currently unspecified manner. Attacks also cannot use battle styles by default, seeing as how Extrasensory lacks the battle style symbol. It's confirmed that Pokemon can be encountered in a variety of different ways, like within trees or even in the crevices of rocks. This further complements the relationship between the world and the Pokemon that reside within. And this diversifies encounters by shaking things up, both figuratively and literally. And finally, we arrive to the end of the trailer that confirms the picture of an unknown Pokemon that was leaked before Legends Arceus was officially revealed. That unknown entity is known as the rock bug Pokemon Kleavor, and it is a branch evolution of Scyther, similar to what we see with Slowpoke. This section of the trailer gives us a first-hand look at the extent of the action-oriented approach of Legends Arceus. Kleavor is one of many frenzied noble Pokemon who are basically advanced super boss versions of the glowing red-eyed Alphas, and require the player to risk life and limb in order to quell them. This can be achieved by throwing Forest Bomb at the enraged beast, a balsamic composed of the target Pokemon's favorite food. The trainer needs to throw these with precise aim, all the while dodging the frenzied Pokemon's barrage of attacks. The bombs are used in conjunction with traditional Pokemon battles to temporarily daze the noble, making it easier to hit them with more bombs. These encounters look relatively demanding. You can't just walk up and spam a bunch of super effective attacks in order to come out on top. The player needs to juggle a bunch of different elements of gameplay all at once to succeed. According to the official site, it also sounds like these noble Pokemon, and potentially others, are able to manipulate surrounding areas in various ways. Kleavor, for example, can leave peculiar markings on trees, or fell them entirely, tipping the player off that a Kleavor may be in the area. A wonderful addition that could have many great gameplay implications if executed properly. A field of charred grass could signal a fire Pokemon nearby. A lake frozen over could signal a powerful ice-type Pokemon in the area. There's so many applications and world interactions that would be possible with such a mechanic. Hopefully Game Freak capitalizes on it, as it would make the world feel more dynamic and alive. That was not all. For some reason, the Japanese trailer was quite different from the English one this time around, even more so than usual. In the Japanese trailer, they showed that wild Pokemon vary depending on the time of day, something we've come to expect. The trailer also confirmed that Cyndaquil's flames in its idle animation during battle will remain ablaze instead of extinguished, as seen in every 3D Pokemon title ever. Typhlosion is notorious for being one of the Pokemon who did not transition into 3D gracefully, and is often cited as one of the worst 3D Pokemon. Seeing as how Cyndaquil's flames remain lit, it's safe to assume that both Quilava and Typhlosion will follow suit, meaning Naked Typhlosion is no more. I was going to pick Cyndaquil regardless, but now I'm even more excited with the trio's new and improved battle idle animations. Some other minor details sprinkled among the new trailers is that both the player character and Pokemon can become frosted in colder areas. Voice acting is pretty much deconfirmed at this point, which I fear will hold the game back narratively, and is rather disappointing when you consider that even Pokemon Snap had at least some voice acting.
Take a few more practice throws.
But trainer grunts are confirmed. So there is some degree of voice acting, even if only a little. These tiny details all add up and contribute to enhancing player immersion and are greatly appreciated. There were still some performance issues present, like jittery low frame Pokemon seen in the pasture. Hopefully these can be ironed out before release, but all in all, the game seems to be shaping up to be a welcome departure from the stale conventions of old, with promising, relatively significant innovation seeking to deliver a one-of-a-kind Pokemon experience, never seen before. Only time will tell if this new approach will pay off in the end. What are you guys most excited for? What stood out to you the most in these recent trailers? I read every comment, so feel free to leave me your thoughts down below. With all that being said, thanks for watching, until next time.